Paragon Celeste being brought out onto the field. And we are onto the fold. Hopefully everything is looking nice and on the up and up. I haven't really streamed Vainglory too much yet, because I am just using Mobizen. On Wednesday I will actually be having the ability to use my capture card with it, which I'm super looking forward to. But we see both teams just sort of making their way out into the jungle. Actually a pretty deep start, starting on those that forward camp for the blue side. Meanwhile over on the red side they did opt to start on the back, so they're going to be actually finishing their clear a little bit sooner because of the fact that they got to start it sooner. It's kind of a you choose between if you want the safe clear or the quick clear. The quick clear, you start at the back and end up out front, but it also could lead to a very early skirmish in this mid area. However, the start that the blue side did, they actually ended up being it's much safer because you start up out front and then go back, as we see both Celestes actually going dead even, with each of them picking up a kill in that lane matchup. We could be having a fight down here in the bottom, as they are near that jungle shop. Couple of scout chaps going down, but it is going to be the Adagio taking a lot of damage. He does have a heal, so he should be okay, especially staying back. But there's the afterburn from Glaive going in. That's going to be a kill, and a lead now picked up by the red side. But Celeste is looking to make her presence felt as well, as I'm getting used to this camera. But Celeste going to be coming on down just to make sure that her own Glaive on TastyBacon is going to be safe. But a great job there by the Catherine and Glaive to pick up that 2-on-2 kill, as now actually Glaive's going to be going back in using that afterburn. Both Glaives using their afterburn to send each other flying, but it's going to be Celeste on the guest being dropped very low. Catherine's going to go in for that stun, but isn't going to get a whole lot off of it. Meanwhile, Guest is going down very low, but Vayne and A is going deep, gets the kill, but is very likely going to be paying for it with their life, as now it's Glaive and ChunkyPretzel. The two Pretzels trying to chase down Vayne and A. Looks like they should be able to get the kill. It will be going over to Glaive. So a very action-packed start to this game thus far, as we already have 5 kills in the first 2.5 minutes. Overall, slight lead in favor of the red side because they did, of course, get that extra kill. But as we take a look at the CS numbers, it's a big lead going to be forming just from right now. If this pace keeps up, it's going to grow into a very large lead. Getting the kill onto Glaive. Both Glaives actually were able to pick up a kill there. But the Celeste on Vayne NA having 2 kills to the 1. Actually now starting to fall behind in the CS, but they are going to be duking it out again, dropping those orbs onto each other. They're both going to get dropped very low. It's going to be Vayne NA coming out on top once more with those crystals that she has picked up in the inventory. So great job by Vayne NA to get the solo kill this time instead of going 2 for 1. And now we see the blue side invading. Once again, the Pretzels sticking together, and they're going to be finding the jungle duo of the red side. They're going to have another fight. They're going right in onto Adagio. The afterburn comes out to send everyone flying. And so far, no one has been killed, but Blood Skies is very low. But thanks to those scout traps, so are the Pretzels. They are healing up, but this fight is far from over, as Catherine is trying to run away. Will she be able to? A great orb coming down from Celeste from the lane, as both laners have rotated on down. We have a full 3-on-3 fight. That's 1 kill getting picked up. Glaive is going to fall on the red side, or no, he's going to get out of this. And now it's ChunkyPretzel is the one who's in a world of trouble, and that is going to be another kill picked up for the red side, up 6-3 now. Vayne NA in some trouble here up against Guest. Gonna walk over that scout trap, but it's not even gonna matter because that is going to be Guest picking up the kill. So a little bit of redemption there, but still the lead in favor of the red side in terms of kills. But with the amount of CS, it's actually a very even game. 2.4k to 2.6k actually in blue side's favor, which is a little bit surprising given the fact that they are down 2 kills. But you just take a look at the CS numbers. It's 25-14 on the 2 Celestes. So Guest able to get a bit more farm because of the fact that Vayne NA has been spending so much time trying to rotate down into the jungle to help out Blood Skies and Energy. Let's see, scout traps all over the place from both sides, actually going to be helping out quite a bit. Good job by Blood's guys there to scout out that second one, just walk on over it, get away from it. But both teams sitting in this bottom shop brush. Let's see if any fight comes out of this. Looks like nope, they are going to throw down those solar flares, double solar flares used on the same brush. Of course, I don't believe these teams are on any kind of voice communication, so not, it's a little tougher to coordinate, but they aren't going to find it. See Blood's guys doing a little bit of stutter stepping through that brush to try and find a scout trap. There was actually one there, but he didn't quite activate it. So that scout trap for blue side is going to be staying in that brush to provide them a little bit of vision a little later on. Well, back in this mid lane, these two Celestes dropping down those orbs to go for just the scout vision in that brush. And Vayne NA taking a big chunk of damage. We see just 4 crystals being built in the inventory of Guest, doing a ton of damage. There goes the Solar Storm, and it is going to get another solo kill. But it's back and forth so much. First we saw it being Vayne NA getting first they went even, then it was Vayne NA getting the solo kill, and now it's the Guest getting the solo kill. ChunkyPretzel's going to be going down extremely low. Afterburn was used, but a great afterburn from TastyBacon to push energy right back into the jungle, and they're going to keep trying to chase him down. He is so low on health. Meanwhile, the Celeste Guest coming down as well, but they're going to be actually turning it around. TastyBacon picking up the kill, and they're in a bit of trouble here. Blood Skies, of course, on this Catherine. There's a Solar Storm coming out from Vayne NA to get a kill. Again, returning the favor, but Guest is now the one on the run. Will Catherine be able to get her stun up in time? Actually, Guest is going to deter the chase from Vayne NA with just another orb drop, doing so much damage with the build that she has opted for. We take a look at it a little closer. Having built up 3 of those crystals, one of them actually built up into the heavy prism, and of course the energy as well. It's just providing so much damage for that Celeste. A nice tanky build coming out of the Catherine thus far, getting of course that regen. Gonna be huge in team fights. It's such a strong item for any roam, really. Especially Catherine, because Catherine can just build so tanky and still be effective. As we take a look down, looks like Red Side's thinking about going for this gold mine. They're going to start it up. The gold mine is worth quite a bit at the moment, but they need to be careful it doesn't get stolen, because Guest does do so much damage. The afterburn going to be used to throw the gold mine into the jungle, but it's going to be, I believe it was picked up by that Solar Storm. We'll have to wait and see, but they are going to be going for a fight. It was 3-on-3, but it is going to be in favor of the blue side as a huge drop comes out and gets a double kill for Guest. That is an ace picked up. The gold mine did go over to red side, but I don't think that blue team's going to be too upset about that, as they get the ace, they get the tower. So there's that 300 gold made up right there. And they now have a pretty sizable gold lead, 1.7k here at 8.5 minutes. The kills are even 9-8, but the play right there being made by Guest on this Celeste, dropping the orbs directly onto the entire enemy team and picking up those quick kills. As they have, she's going to continue using those to scout. Actually finds Catherine. There's quite a few red scout traps in that bush, but they're still going to go in. They finally end up stepping on one of them. It took a while. Looks like they're trying to find these scout traps. There's another one found, but we're going to have another fight. The afterburn goes in. A great knockback by Glaive, but it separates the fight completely. Glaive is now on the wrong side, as Pretzel's going to be fighting Vayne NA, but Vayne NA just has too much damage, throwing out that solar flare for the kill. But now Vayne NA is going to be the one in trouble, trying to run away. Does actually get out of dodge for now, but you need to be careful. You don't want to go too far back in, because there is still an Adagio and a Celeste waiting for you. Now it's Catherine, the one that they are going to be chasing down. She's on the wrong side of this bush. She's going to continue pulling down the orbs. She's going to get away. The Solar Storm, not quite enough for the kill, and Blood Skies will limp away from that fight. And meanwhile, though, oh goodness, Vayne NA got a little bit too aggressive, went in and got caught by Chunky Pretzel and Guest. 11-9 at 10 minutes. This is a really good match, as if you like action, these two teams are fighting constantly, and it's not one-sided. That's what I always like to see. You know, when a game is really one-sided, it's nowhere near as fun. As Energy going to be using that afterburn to get in and throw Chunky Pretzel back. They're trying to get this gold mine. They do pick it up, and now Energy, they turn their attention onto him. It's a 3-on-1. He's taking quite a bit of damage, but he's still ahead of the team just by running away. I don't think he's going to be able to fully escape this, because they can just collapse around him just like they're doing here. But this is buying a lot of time for his teammates. He's going to actually afterburn over the wall, and he might be able to get away. He does get away. Energy with the play. It bought so much time for his team to get more farm. Catherine was able to pick up a jungle camp. Celeste able to get herself caught back up in CS now, 58-61. But now actually Vayne and A going to be in a ton of trouble. Here comes the collapse coming out from the blue side. Vayne and A is going to be falling down. The fire's on him, and kill does go over to the glaive this time, as he kind of needs that. He's been 3-3, a little bit behind, just in terms of the rest of his team. Obviously Chunky Pretzel, you can't really count that because they are the roam. They're not going to be having a whole lot of kills, but he had participated in 6 of their kills previously, whereas Chunky Pretzel had been in on 8 of them. So they're actually going to find Blood Skies here. Will this be another fight? I don't think Red Team wants this. The Solar Storm is going to go out, but it will be dodged. Great move by Blood Skies to avoid that. They're going to be putting down the scout trap. This could be the fight here, as all 6 members are around, although Glaive of the Red Team is not involved in this whatsoever. And it's going to be Vayne and A getting stunned up and taking a ton of damage. Blood Skies with the silence not able to do anywhere near enough. They're just having Glaive continue pushing, though. He does get that tower down to about half, but that's all he's really going to get. Now he's just going to go in and invade the enemy jungle, try and pick up some gold where he can. But I don't think Blue Side's going to mind that too much, because they're just doing the exact same thing, but with the added benefit of minions being on this turret. The second turret being worked on by the blue side. They do pick up the minion mine, Glaive does. So gonna have those slightly stronger minions. They picked up the enemy minion mine though, which I'm never really a huge fan on, especially if you don't have your own minion mine. And now, oh boy, Guest gonna be getting caught out here. Gonna get the stun off, but it's not gonna be anywhere near enough. Yeah, that's just a case of overstaying, staying a bit too long, getting greedy on the turret, and paying for it with your life. Now it could be Red Team looking to take back the gold mine once again. We are getting close to that 15-minute mark, which is of course the automatic gold payout for whoever owns the mine at the time. They do pick it up, and now it's a 3-on-2 fight. The Adagio ultimate being used to huge effect on Energy, who just got completely stuck there. But now here comes Vayne and A, but they're going to take him down as well, and now it's only the Catherine left alive for the red side, and blue team is just starting to take little advantages across the map and continue to extend out this gold lead. Red side's been fighting very strongly, but unfortunately, it does seem like that the gold advantage that they've built up is just going to be a little too much for them to deal with currently. Of course, the game is not over until it's actually over. As long as your Vayne Crystal is still standing, you still have a chance. It's the way it always goes in Vainglory. You could always just hold out till 20 minutes, get an ace, and then just go shove down the enemy team's base. But they are doing some serious work with the Celeste on this tower, down to under a quarter of its health, but they need to be careful they don't overstay again, because they do have a couple of stuns available on the red side, but they are going to be backing off this time. That mana bar getting relatively low here for Celeste on Guest, but it's going to be actually Catherine going in. The afterburn is going to be used by Pretzel to knock Vayne and A back into the team, but there goes the Solar Storm. That's a kill picked up for the red side. They're looking to get a second one onto the Glaive. They are going to get the Glaive, and now it's only Guest left alive. It's 1-on-3 on the wrong side of the map. That's going to be the third kill picked up eventually. It does go over to Glaive, sitting now at 6-4 on this red side, 6-9 for Vayne and A. So spreading the kills out evenly for this red team. They're finally going to go push up and take this first tower out. That's going to be a nice 300 gold bonus. The Kraken did just spawn, so another little bonus picked up for them. And that brings the gold actually in red team's favor. Like, that's how quickly it can swing. You know, a couple gold mines, some good farming, an ace, a tower, and all of a sudden, I mean, a tower is 900 gold for the team. That's a huge amount. It's 300 gold for every player. But we could be having a big fight on our hands here in the middle of the map as the Kraken is up. Neither team wants to just give up this objective for free. We'll have to see what they do decide to do. It's going to be, right now, just walking around. They have scout traps down. Oh, and there's the call to engage from the side of the blue team. Glaive forced to use the afterburn just to escape when the ultimate from Adagio was used. There's a nice afterburn being used onto Energy to push him back in, but there's so much damage coming out. Vayne NA gonna get the Solar Storm off first to pick up a kill, but Guest answers with one of their own, and it's Energy who is limping away from the fight on the backside. Vayne NA is at risk of falling as well. They're gonna find the Glaive. Great job from Guest, dropping those orbs over the wall and picking off the low health Glaive. Vayne NA now just trying to run away from this. Looks like they will be able to escape. You need to be careful. You don't want to get caught over the wall just like your Glaive did. There's going to be the stun from Blood Skies, and Vayne NA is in a whole lot of trouble, but so is Guest, who goes down, and now it's Chunky Pretzel low on mana, low on health, popping that shield, but not going to be doing anything with it, and that will be another kill picked up for red team, and that is not quite getting the ace bonus, just a couple of seconds too late. But it's only Glaive going to be up for the next 9 seconds to try and stop this Kraken take. Will he be able to make it down? Will he even know that they're doing this? This is going down very quickly. I don't think Glaive has any idea, and it's actually going to be Energy just stalling him away from it, making sure that this Kraken goes down safely in favor of red team. And what a back and forth game this has been. Energy now invading the enemy jungle. Needs to be careful. You want to stay with your team, especially this late in the game. If you get caught off on your own, it can very easily lead to your death. Of course, Glaive is probably one of the few champions who can be okay wandering on his own because of the fact that he does have that afterburn. But this is going to be minion mine being picked up by the blue team, trying to do whatever they can to stall out this Kraken push. But with that Kraken, oh, Chunky Pretzel got caught. He's going to be sent right back into the team. Adagio is so low. Energy trying to chase it down. Popping a shield. Vayne NA on the backside. Solar Storm going to come out. Not quite picking up a kill. But Vayne NA still has that their ultimate. Waiting for that to just come out. It would do a ton of damage. It does finally go out. Doesn't hit Chunky Pretzel though, but there's a great afterburn onto Guest. They caught Guest. They killed Guest. But now it's a 2-on-2. The Kraken is still beating on that turret, does destroy the turret, but we're actually going to be seeing them try and go back in. They stun onto D-Pretzel. D-Pretzel is going to go down. It's just Chunky Pretzel against Blood Skies and Vayne NA. Not a whole lot that Adagio is going to be able to do against a Catherine and a Celeste, especially a late game Celeste. So much crystal power built up onto both of them, and that's another turret destroyed by this Kraken. Red team gonna be looking to pushing onto these Vayne crystal towers, but that's such a risky play. It's only Vainglory and Vayne NA there now, and Guest and Chunky Pretzel are there to defend, but the Kraken doing serious work, getting that tower so low. They're gonna be able to just return to that almost any time they want and be able to finish off at least that tower. However, the better option is, of course, to look for another fight. They've been doing really well in team fights recently. If they can get the engage on, if they can pick off Guest at the start of the fight, which is definitely what they've been doing. Energy has been doing such a good job of holding his afterburn until he can get it onto Guest on that Celeste and knock her into the team so that they can pick her off. That is definitely the threat of the team. The biggest threat for both sides really is the Celeste. And so using those stuns to just keep her out of a fight, if they can pick her off early, whichever side can pick off the enemy Celeste, there's going to be the afterburn trying to push her over the wall, but it only puts her into the wall. It's still a lot of damage coming out, and Vayne NA is just in the perfect spot for this fight, dropping down those orbs, doing the core collapse right into the middle of the team. That's going to be 2 kills picked up for the red team. They're going to chase down on Chunky Pretzel. Chunky Pretzel is going to fall, and that should be the game for Red Side. What a match from these two teams. Yeah, they're just going to push in. They don't even need the minions. Catherine is still at full health. So is Celeste. Glaive is just kind of standing there, but either way, they don't need the Glaive. Catherine and Celeste are more than enough to take this out. Death timers are so long this late into the game. They still have 8 seconds before they have to worry about anyone being up. This is going to be the Vein Crystal being destroyed by Red Side. Congratulations to them picking up the victory in this Chunky Pretzel viewer game. Getting a little bit of extracurricular activity, but nobody going down from that. Great job all around for everybody involved. Taking a look at the final stats, right there, that just kind of speaks to how the game ended. So much gold being put onto the Celeste of Red Side. 9 kills, 10 assists, and 108 CS. It was 10 kills and only 3 assists though for Guest. Just not able to basically, if it was a kill going down, it was most likely going on to Guest for the blue side. Wasn't really able to participate in many of the other kills that the team had. Whereas, and that's how you get the gold. That's what you need to do in order to get the items to make you carry. If you look at the item builds, the final item builds, just all crystal power with the exception of the Fountain of Renewal being built up. Actually, each member of the blue side building up that Fountain of Renewal. So just keeping themselves alive so well in fights. But the positioning was really the key to the end of that fight. Vayne NA able to just throw down those her first ability over the wall repeatedly, getting stuns, getting the core collapse off, and then firing that solar storm over the wall. It just annihilated the team, as there just wasn't anywhere near enough shield being built. They had the Aegis and then the beginnings of another one onto that Glaive, but just no shield item really whatsoever coming out of Chunky Pretzel, which is really surprising. Either way, this was a custom viewer game featuring streamer Chunky Pretzel. Make sure you check him out, twitch.tv/ChunkyPretzel. And I've been TastyBacon. Hope you all have a great one.